Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. Guys, a fun thing happened last week. There is a creator named Sammie who has a YouTube channel called Unicorn Dust Designs, and she has over 100,000 followers, and every Tuesday she does a Try It Tuesday. Well, I didn't even know this was happening, but a couple of Tuesdays ago, she decided to feature two of my projects on her Try It Tuesday and shared it with her community. And I have gained well over 500 followers after that. And I am so thankful to Sammie for being so kind to use her influence to help others. And if you guys are here from Sammie's channel, I am so glad you are here. On this channel, I like to upcycle thrifted finds, makeover furniture. I just opened my resale booth in March of this year, and I'm taking you guys along with me on that journey. So if that is the type of content you guys are interested in, make sure you hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. On this week's video, I know a lot of creators are already doing Christmas, and I am not ready for it yet. I have not made things in a couple weeks because I just came back from fall break. So I am finishing up some of my last fall DIY decor and thrift flip items. So if you guys want to see how these turn out, stick around. So let's get started with project one. This one I started a while back. I got this in the box at a thrift store for $5, and it looks pretty good, except there were some spots on top of the acorns where it looked like it got stained. So my original idea was to just try to put a little gold on there where like some of the foam was coming through, and it was too much. So plan B is I got out my Prairie gray and thought Prairie gray goes well with yellow, but guys, this did not look right. Listen, I committed. I put the Prairie gray on all of it thinking, well, I'm just going to do another color on the top and see if I can get this all to mesh well. Well, didn't like it. After I did the Prairie gray, even with a smaller brush to make it look neater, I added some cake batter to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working on this project way too long. $5, is this even worth it? But I'm stubborn, and I already started it, so I went outside, and I got out my Rust-Oleum black spray paint, and spray painted the whole thing black. Very dark. Very black, very Halloween is what I was thinking, not my normal. So I grabbed the Golden Rule by DIY Paint and then a chip brush and just kind of feathered on the gold, the edge of the black. While this is not the look that I have in my house currently, I figured somebody would be decorating for Halloween or just have like a Christmas theme with a bunch of black and gold. This would look great in somebody's house. So here I am just dry brushing this Golden Rule on the top of these papery flowers and the acorns. Not my traditional style, but I feel like I did end up salvaging this poor little piece. Oh, what do you guys think? This next one is a pretty simple upcycle. I got this piece, I think that said $2. Guys, I need my eyes to work better. But I thought it had the colors that I've been working with, that burnt yellow, and it looked very fall-like. But this wood round, like, I don't know what happened to it. Did someone spill something on it? Half of it had a very porous wood, old look, and then the other half just was darker. So I was originally trying to, first of all, hold the camera and sand, which is not a good idea. But I'm trying to sand off some of the top layer of this to see if I can get the wood to look a little bit more even. But it didn't really come off well. So what I did is I looked in my stash and I had this, I think this is called a walnut stain. And I just put it on the whole wood round so that it would have a consistent color to it at least. I think the reason this was priced so low is because of the wood round, and look how easily this can be solved. Now, I didn't spend any money on the stain because I already had it, but look how beautiful it is now. All right, so I wanted to make one more pumpkin this fall season. I don't think I paid $4.99 for this yellow. I feel like it would have been a half off day because this is a bright yellow. This is not normally my world. And I thought, let's go with the black theme and use little black dress. This is my first time using this color, and it is like an off black. I really like it. But I do 2 coats of little black dress on top of here after I wash this out really well with some Dawn dish soap. Cover this thing with 2 coats of the little black dress, and then I wet distress with a very wet rag to get a little bit of the yellow to come back through. And I ended up liking this project a whole lot more than I thought I would. So I've got a little bit of the yellow poking through, and then I cover it with Big Top to seal all this in. The DIY paint is able to be wet distressed and will reactivate until it is sealed in. So make sure that you do a top coat of either a wax or Big Top or even a polyurethane that you have laying around. So I have the whole thing sealed, and then it was time for a stem. So I go down to my basement, I look through some spindles that I had, trying to decide what is the look that I want this thing to have. This is my first time making one of these. I know a lot of DIYers and YouTubers out there have done bundt pan pumpkin look, but this is my first time doing it, so didn't quite know the look that I wanted. So I grabbed some foam, decided to just squish it down in there, have some moss from the Dollar Tree. I have these little burlap leaves that I got from a project a couple videos ago. This polka dot ribbon that I have right here, this is also from the Dollar Tree. So I just kind of put all these things together, and I think this is so cute. And it surprised me because I was like, am I really making another pumpkin? But I think this is pretty cute. So can you tell I'm just trying to finish up my fall projects? I did this in another video. I'm going to link it right here, but I did this using IOD stamps and some DIY paint, and now it's just been sitting around, and I was just going to make a pillow out of it. I don't feel like sewing. I am using hot glue to make sure my lines are straight. I got this polyfill at the thrift store for $2. That is a deal, so I pick it up when I see it, and I start stuffing it. Realize I didn't check my seams, so before you start stuffing it, make sure the seams are completely in a straight line. Like, check to make sure it looks like you sewed it, and if it's not, just make sure the lines all are filled in. Stuff it, and make sure you get the stuffing into the corners, because this is your only time to be able to do that. But I made the seams too large, so I just ripped it out. The beautiful part about it just being hot glued. I'm going to make the seams a little bit smaller, and I'm going to do the same technique with the hot glue and this time I'm being smart and I'm checking my seams as I do them and make sure there's no space to get through. And then I'm going to put the polyfill all the way in the corners. And on this last seam, I'm going to make sure it comes in these corners before I completely close it in. And this is a nice little, I wouldn't like lay my head on this, but how cute would this be? Just leaning up in a little chair or sofa during the fall season. So my last project, this was labeled at the thrift store as a potato bin, and it was listed at $8.99, and they had sent me a coupon in the mail for $5 off, so I could not leave it there. But you know what this actually is, guys? You guys told me this in my thrift haul when I showed this to you. This is actually just a wooden trash can. It can be used for a number of things, but I am going to paint it. It was kind of a mess. I cleaned it out with Dawn dish soap and a very strong hose, and then I sprayed the insides with that same black spray paint just because it was easier to get the insides this way and just to cover up. Someone used this as a trash can. So, anyway, I am going to use this paper from Reseller. I've never used one of her papers before. So the trick is you're supposed to paint the underneath white so that the paper fully shines. So I did that, and now I'm actually using liquid patina for the very first time. I have been a DIY retailer for a little bit now, and this is my first time opening up the liquid patina. And right now I can already see a couple spots that I missed and I'll have to go back and fix. But it's amazing what you can see after the fact and not while you're in the project. So I put the liquid patina down, tried to get the air bubbles out. Then I went and got some saran wrap because I heard that that is a good way to be able to glide your hand over the top and get the air bubbles out. I may have overworked this paper, but it is what it is. This was my first time and I thought this is a very rustic look, so I'm okay with some wrinkles. I ended up in the end doing 2 coats of liquid patina on the top after getting as many air bubbles out as I could. It's a process, and I found it to be, I'm not a pro yet, but it's doable. So if you are on the fence about this, just get started. I wet distressed the black DIY paint. I did the little black dress on the body of this project, and white. Let's see, I used bead board underneath the paper so that you could see clearly the design of the paper. And then I covered the whole thing, including over the paper, with Big Top because I wanted the sheen of it to be the same. You can see right here, do you see where I didn't quite get the white to the edge of where the paper is? You can kind of see how the paper looks bright where the white is and then a little dingier where it's black. And with this paper, it didn't quite matter. Next time I will do a better job at getting the whole thing white. And here I am just going over it with 220 grit sandpaper to make the whole thing look distressed. I ended up using black wax very sparingly over the existing hardware. I didn't want to put any more money into this, just to kind of dull down this weird patina that it had. And then I also did black wax over the paper and all the wrinkles just to make it look like it's old and worn. And this is not my traditional color scheme, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. What do you guys think? what did you guys think? Did you like these projects? Are these things that you will try out for yourself in your own space or your own vendor booths? Or are you completely done with fall and you're like, time to move on to Christmas? I am definitely feeling that pull that it's time to work on some stuff to get some Christmas into my booth starting, I don't know, November 1st. Like, it's time to get the Christmas stuff done. So let me know in the comments below, are you still working on fall? Are you still feeling the fall even though, like, fall just got here? It's so strange to be like working ahead of seasons like this. Or are you ready to move on to your Christmas stuff? Guys, did you have a favorite project? I would love to know in the comments below. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you will consider subscribing. And guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.